Hey, welcome back to Scarecrow's Billiards. Today we're going to go over basic essentials. So later on I'll be putting out videos on intermediate skills, advanced skills to include the fancy masse, but for today we're going to talk about how to properly chalk your cue. A lot of people don't do that. How to properly aim and bear down on your shot. A lot of people don't establish a really good sight line because they're not getting down far enough to see what's going on. We'll also talk about using different types of bridges. And then we'll also find out if you should be a right-handed or a left-handed shooter, finding which eye is your dominant eye. And then finally, we'll talk about some different types of hand bridges. There's about 4 or 5 different types. I'll be making chapters in this video as well, so if you want to jump ahead, feel free to, or come back later to reference. Without further ado, let's get to it. One of the most important things here, and I call it free insurance, chalking your cue. If the chalk's on the other side of the table, go get it and keep it with you while you're shooting your shot. Chalk at a minimum before every shot. And to do it properly, first, you want to make sure the chalk doesn't have such a huge divot in it, and if it doesn't, you just want to brush the chalk, excuse me, across the top. So let me get the tip up here a little bit, and you want to, let's see, get a good angle. Brush it across. Let me switch hands here so you can see better. Now, a lot of people already know this. Brush it across and turn the cue. Doesn't have to be very violent. Literally make sure that the tip is holding the chalk. It seems awkward at first. Don't sweat it. Pretty soon it'll become as automatic as brushing your teeth in the morning or buckling your seatbelt when you get in the car. Grab the chalk, come over here, get down, bear down, shoot the shot, get up, grab the chalk, go to the next shot. Becomes routine. The next step, take aim. A lot of beginners are bashful about bearing down on their shot, and they'll only go down about this far. Now that would work if you have a shotgun because it shoots out a whole bunch of pellets. If we had a bunch of cue balls, that would probably work. But you got to think more like a bow and arrow. So when you line up your bow and arrow, you have your rear sight, your front sight, and your arrow itself. Think of this as the arrow, but in billiards, you've got a cue ball. So you also want to make sure you address the cue ball where you intend to, be it left, top, bottom. So bearing down, what does that mean? That means getting down on the shot. Some go as low as rubbing the stick against their chin, but if you have glasses on, that's kind of difficult because you end up looking over your glasses. It kind of messes things up, throws things into distortion. So I get down as low as I can. When you shoot, you want to try to shoot and then follow through, keeping the tip of the cue on the felt and making sure you address the cue ball where it is that you want to address it. The next thing we're going to want to do is stay down after the shot. Don't jump up. After you shoot, count to yourself 1 1,000, 2 1,000, and then stand up. This makes sure that you're following through on your stroke. Now, if you have a shot where you need to draw the ball and get out of the way really quick, I understand it, but it doesn't mean you need to stand up and completely throw the shot away. So, to demonstrate, bear down, shoot the shot, and then stand up. Again, if you need to move the cue ball out of the way, bear down, shoot, move the cue ball out of the way. You're still down, and when you're done shooting, you want the stick, the tip of your cue, to be resting on the table. That makes sure that you're following through. Okay, bridges. Now, using the bridge is a 2-arm, 2-hand operation. It involves using both sides of your body. You want to stabilize the bridge with your non-shooting arm, whatever that might be, and then reverse your shooting grip on the shooting side to where you're like this, and it allows you to get better aim right underneath your chin. And if you're trying to do something weird like this, at a minimum, make sure both your elbows are on the table when you do this. There's different types of bridges. There's these metal ones you might see in your local pool hall, and then there's these here, plastic, a little more gentler on your shaft, and they can go on any cue, and they come off and on, relatively inexpensive. So a couple things you can do here, say this shot right here. You put the bridge behind, stabilize the bridge with the left arm. You find, I need to get a little higher. You can turn it. This particular bridge has 9 different positions. Stabilize the bridge. Hold it in place. Put your right elbow down. Right there, I can see right down the cue, and I'm pretty stable. I've seen some people use 2 bridges. they'll put one bridge down and another bridge over top of it, like so, and then they can move that bridge forward and back to get where they need. Either way, take your time, be careful, and stabilize it. Think of a triangle. 1, 2, 3. Once that's stable, you're here, take your time, and go ahead and shoot the shot. All right, the next thing you want to do is establish if you're right eye dominant or if you're left eye dominant. You might be left eye dominant and shooting as a right-handed player. It might be a little weird. Maybe you should be shooting left hand, but there's a really easy way to find out. With both your eyes open, extend your arm in front of you like a thumbs up. And then pick an object in the distance. I'm going to pick the camera. Cover it up with your thumb as best as you can. You'll find that you're looking at two thumbs. Cover it up. First, close your left eye. Is the object still covered? Open your left eye, close your left eye. Is your thumb in the same place? Does it seem like your thumb's moving? If the object remains covered or your thumb seems to be in the same spot, then you're right eye dominant by blinking the left eye. Do the same thing, put it back out there, and now close the right eye. Can you see the object now, even though it was covered with both eyes open? Your thumb is moving when you're blinking your right eye. That means that you're left eye dominant. So if you're blinking your right eye and the thumb stays where it's at, you're left eye dominant. You should be shooting left-handed. Might work out a little bit better for you. Now that we're done checking our eyes and making sure we're left eye or right eye dominant, we'll talk about something that you can employ at the beginner, intermediate, and advanced level. And that is controlling your emotions. So billiards is a tough game. Got to make sure there's chalk, got to make sure your aim, you got a round object hitting another rounded object into another rounded object. They're all slippery into a rounded pocket. So whatever you do, you miss a shot, your opponent gets lucky, the ball's real funny sometimes. Control your emotions. Don't worry. You'll get back at the table. Breathe. Now, the final thing we'll talk about here, yep, I'm down here real low, is mastering all the different types of bridges. So not the bridge that we just went over before, but the bridge you make with your hand. So there's a rail bridge, there's a closed bridge, there's an open bridge, there's my signature bridge. I haven't seen other people do it, but I think they should do it a lot more often. And there's an elevated open bridge. And there's also a massé bridge. I may pause it here and there and cut to a different segment so that you can get a better angle with the camera. But first we'll do the closed bridge. How you do it, put it here, put the stick here, slide it up, wrap the finger over, and connect right here. It makes for a very stable bridge. You can generate a lot of power and control the shaft of the cue ball. Easy to follow through. Next, we have the open bridge. How is this formed? It literally falls into that groove between your thumb and your index finger, right in there. You can raise this bridge. You can lower the bridge. It's got a bunch of points of contact, including your palm. It's pretty steady. It allows you to follow through. Like that. That's the open bridge. Now, the next bridge we have is the rail bridge. So to make this bridge, you align the stick up against your middle finger and your thumb, and then you put your index finger over top. And you apply pressure to the index finger, you can hold the cue in place. And this thumb provides a guide for the cue to run across, and this is just extra stability here. You've also got a firm grasp of the table, and you can get the stick as low as you possibly can. Closed bridge you can do, but you have to jack up. Open bridge is still up a little bit as well. This lets you rest your stick on the table. It gives you a whole lot more stability. Now, the final bridge I want to cover is the elevated open bridge. This is for jumps or reaching over top of other balls. I've seen people use it, like the object balls here, balancing on one finger, two fingers. I've seen, I don't know, kind of all of it. What you want to do is try to get some stability with this. So I start by making that, hey dude, hang loose thing, right? Pull these two fingers back, and that acts as like the back of your tripod. Put that down, and your pinky finger and your index finger go down for stability, and your thumb comes up as it normally would in an open bridge. From here, you're pretty stable, 3 points of contact, a couple of practice strokes, and you can follow through with control. All right, that about wraps it up. Thanks for staying with me. So we covered quite a few things in these basic essentials. I'll be putting out a couple other videos, essentials 2, 3, a little bit more advanced things think about rather than just the basic mechanics. So we talked about chalking your cue, brush it across, look at it, take time to do it, keep the chalk with you as you go around the table. Remember though, if it ain't your chalk, leave it on the table when you're done shooting. Staying down when you shoot, don't jump up. Count 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, or whatever you can do, but stay down, don't jump up. Bearing down. When you aim your cue, you want to get down really low. Using a bridge, we went over that, different types of bridges, how to employ them by stabilizing them, finding which eye is your dominant eye using the thumb, controlling your emotions, and then finally mastering all these different types of bridges you can do with your hand. Closed bridge, my special spider knuckle crazy bridge, as well as proper way to use an elevated open bridge. If you find the video interesting, please click the like button and subscribe if you want. If you don't, that's fine too. The videos will always be there. Thanks again for watching Scarecrow's Billiards. God bless.